Namaste children, welcome back to another session of our chapter Soil. So in this lesson, in our first class, we learned what are the different uses of soil. Like soil, it is helpful for the growth of plants. Soil, it is helpful it's giving shelter to the animals. It is a place where we are living. Soil we are using to construct buildings. Soil we are using to make the potteries, everything. So different uses of soil we came to know. Along with the different uses of soil, in our first class we learned a process that is called weathering. What is that process called? It is called weathering. So weathering, it is a process of making soil from big rocks. So this weathering process, it is done by the help of sunlight, the help of rocks, rainfall, by the help of wind and animal action. So sunlight, rainfall, wind and animal action, these are some different factors that are influencing your weathering process, that are helpful to weathering process. So we came to know about soil composition, with what all materials a soil is made up of. Like soil contains water, it contains air, it contains minerals, organic matter, that is your humus. So the composition of soil and the formation of soil we learned in our LP1. So in our today's class, that is LP2, we are going to learn about different types of soil. Because when you are playing, you might have found that sometimes a sandy soil, sometimes a soil with a dark brown in color, sometimes a soil with a black color. Like the different colored soils you are able to get in your surroundings. So by seeing the color itself, you can tell that our soil, it is of different types. So in our today's class, we mainly focus on different types of soils. Okay, let us start our class. So the main aim of our today's class is to understand the different properties of different types of soils. Understanding about different properties, like what is the color of that soil, what is the texture of the soil, is the soil particles are smaller in size or bigger in size, how much water it can hold, what is the humus, organic content in that soil. So all these are called the properties. So in our today's class, we are going to learn about different properties of different types of soils. So in our today's class, we will come across a keyword that is called fertile. What is the keyword? Fertile. So fertile means it is a word related to soil quality with reference to the plant growth. If a soil is good and plants are growing well, then we are saying such a soil as a fertile soil. If the soil is unfit for the plant growth, then you are saying it is a infertile soil. So fertile, it is a word that is related to the quality of the soil with reference to the plant growth. Okay. So to understand betterly about different types of soils, at first let us copy a tabular column. Yes, where you will get 3 samples of soils which you are saying as a sample A, B and C. And you are comparing these 3 different types of samples with respect to the color of that soil, size of the particles present in its texture, and a small activity we are going to do on the water holding capacity. Okay children, so let us continue our class by observing these 3 different types of soils. So in these 3 different types of soils, if you will observe carefully, this is your soil A, this is soil B and this is soil C. At first we have to define the color of the soils. Soil A, it is light brown in its color. When it comes to soil B, it is dark brown in its color, whereas the soil C, it's totally black in its color. And observe these three soils clearly, and now let us try to write the soil particles. Are they bigger in size or smaller in size? In this first one, if you will see, sand particles are smaller in size, whereas here you can see the big particles. So bigger soil particles are present in the picture, are the type of B. Whereas when it comes to soil C, you will find a finite soil. Okay. Now in our tabular column, the third criteria, it is about the texture, how the soil is for our appearance and touch. This is a sandy soil. It is hard in its touch. In fact, it's rough in its touch. This is also hard and rough in its touch. When it comes to the third soil, black colored soil, it is very smooth in its touch. Okay, children. So, by this activity, you can complete the three columns in the tabular column. But in the same tabular column, we are having one more column, that is water holding capacity of the soil. So to understand about the water holding capacity of the soil, let us do a small activity, where in that activity we are going to take these three different types of soils. But for me, one type of soil I will show you, and the rest of soils you people do at home and send me the pics. So let us start our activity, children. To understand about the water holding capacity of the soil, let us take a glass and a filter, a tea filter. So now inside this tea filter, I am going to place the small soil which is available, that is my garden soil. Yes, so what I am doing in this tea filter, I am placing the garden soil that is available to me. Little quantity of this garden soil I am placing here. Now after placing that, see, at first we took an empty glass which is placed under the filter, and now inside this filter we are taking the garden soil. So now what we will do, another glass I am taking with water. So now this water I will pour into this soil and will try to observe how much water it is collected down. Is the entire water that I poured, it is collected here, or a little bit of water is it is absorbed or not, we will test here. Okay, children. Yes. Okay, so when you will observe, you are able to find that yes, this particular soil, it have holded a quantity of water in it, and the rest of the water it is filtered through the filter paper. Okay, so as the water it is hold, as the soil it have holded water in it, you are able to see this soil, it totally became as a wet soil. That means each and every soil have a capacity to absorb the water and to hold the water in it. So now based on this water holding capacity, all the three different types of soils that are given provided to you, that are having different rate of absorption, that let us see now. So now based on the activity observation, we can understand that the type of A soil, it is holding a less water in it, and B soil can hold enough water in it, whereas this black soil can hold, it can absorb more than enough water in it. Yes, so by your experiment with a soil which you had taken this, so earlier whatever the experiment you had seen in the video, that is a soil of your this type. which can hold enough water in it so that it is suitable for the plant growth. So now based on the water holding capacity, if you will observe, soil A type, it is taking a less water, soil B is holding enough water, and soil C, it is holding more than enough water. So based on all these characteristics, we can say that soils are of different types. Mainly soils we are classifying into three different types. One is your sandy soil, where the soil particles are freely present. The second one is the loamy soil, where the soil balls are present, and it is one of the best soil to grow plants here. And the third one is the clayey soil, which absorbs more than enough water, so plant growth is very less here. And this is the soil even suitable for agriculture purpose also. Okay children, so by our activity we understood that there are three different types of soils, and these three different types of soils are having different characteristics with respect to its color, particle size, its water holding capacity, and even with respect to its texture. So let's watch a small video. After the video, let us continue our class.
Different types. The three main types of soil are sandy, clayey, and loamy soils. Sandy soil has big sand particles with poor water holding capacity. Clayey soil has very small clay particles and the highest water holding capacity. Loamy soil is a mix of sand, silt, and clay particles. It has medium water holding capacity but is very fertile.
So after watching the video, now let us discuss a few questions based on the activity. What difference did we see in these three soil samples when water is poured? So in these three soil samples, at first you will find that a sandy soil have a poor water holding capacity. Loamy soil have a medium water holding capacity, whereas the clayey soil have greater holding water capacity. This is the difference that you find by observing your activity. Yes, how do soil types vary? Soil types, on what basis these soil types are varying? Already you filled in the table. One is based on their texture. Second one is based on their particle size. Based on their color and water holding capacity. Along with all these things, one more important factor that is playing a role in soil types formation, that is based on the parental rock. What type of parental rock it is? Yes, and the second one is parental rock is playing a great role. If the parental rock is like a sandstone, then a sandy soil will form. So parental rock, it is playing a great role in the type of soil formation. The second one is biological factors present in that place. If more and more living organisms are present, that soil becomes more fertile soil. Like a sandy soil, if you will see, there less vegetation is seen, so it is a less fertile soil. Areas like ours, more vegetation is present, so it becomes more fertile soil. The another important factor here, and other than parental rock and biological factors, the most important factor, it is about the climate that is present in that area. If the climate is too hot, one type of soil like your sandy soil is formed. If the climate is too cool, another, means the weathering process will done slowly, and another type of soil will form. Like if you will see the polar regions like your Arctic region, time it is too cool, so that the soil type formed is totally different from the rest of the areas. Okay, why do we find different soils at different places? Just now we have discussed why do we find means based on the climate present in the different places, based on the biological quantity present in that areas, and even based on the parental rock material available in that places. Okay, children. So after completing our activity, let us open the worksheet, and in worksheet, yes, the first question is complete the table. Yes, in worksheet, the first question is complete the table. They had given two pictures here and they're asking to complete the table. Name the type of soil here. The first one is your loamy. So, as per the given pictures, the first A soil, it is a loamy soil. And the second one, it is a sandy soil. Now they are asking about the size of the soil particles. So loamy soil, you can see big sized soil particles, whereas a sandy soil you can see small sized soil particles. The third one, when it comes water holding capacity, it can hold, a loamy soil can hold more water, whereas the sandy soil can hold less water. So is this type of soil is good for growing plants? Definitely yes, because it is a fertile soil. Whereas when it comes to sandy soil, it is a infertile soil. Okay. So now let us move to the next question. Our next question is why the soil in the Arctic region it is different from the soil in a hot desert region. Write two reasons. The two reasons, one is the climatic change. One is the climatic change. In the Arctic region, we are having a cool climate, whereas in the desert area, we are having a hot climate. And the second one is the parent rock material present in that areas. These are the two reasons why the Arctic region rocks are different from the rest of the desert area or other Aryan parts of our earth. So now let us open the practice questions from textbook. So these practice questions, if you will see, there are different types of soils depending on the dash, depending on the size of the soil particles. Soil particles are bigger in, yes, the soil particles that are bigger in dash soil, a sandy soil or a clayey soil. So here if you will see the sandy soil, it's having the bigger soil particles. Now the third one, explain why loamy soil is known as garden's best friend. Because this loamy soil is the fertile soil, can hold enough water with a good humus. So it is gardener's best friend. When clayey soil is not good for plants, because clayey soil is holding more than enough water, so plants can't fix their roots firmly in that soil. Now this is one more important question. What is the role of microorganisms in the soil fertility? So as the microorganisms are decomposing the organic matter, the waste materials of plants and animals, they are increasing the soil fertility. Microorganisms will increase the humus level present in the soil and makes the soil more fertile. So as many as microorganisms are present, that much fertile soil we will get. Okay children, after watching this video, open your content book page number 28 and your volume workbook page number 18 and complete the worksheet and practice questions. Thank you so much.